All right, guys, welcome to class 10 in the sponsored showdown. I had a little Google Sheet glitch that caused me to be a minute late. It kind of deleted some data that I needed to share in class today. Okay, so today we're going to be doing another review, and the second segment of the review is we're looking at a campaign that needs restructuring. It's one of the bigger questions we've had during the showdown classes is how to restructure kind of messy campaigns and what to do when you have a lot of different data that you need to make sense of to get a really concise, good campaign structure ready to go. So with this particular product, it's a skincare product. And we're going to go through, there's 3 different products that I'm going to review today. But the first one, we're going to start with the best-selling product or one of the best-selling products that I think can be advertised for this particular line, which is a youth collagen serum. So the way, first and foremost, the way that you determine what products you're going to advertise is by pulling a historic business report. That's the first thing that you're going to want to do for you to decide what products you're going to advertise. It's not about advertising all your products because unfortunately advertising is expensive and it's hard to convert and it's hard to optimize, right? It takes effort. It's like anything else in business. It's a serious undertaking, huge payoff as it goes well. It's massive payoff when it goes well, but there's a lot of work involved in getting it right. It's certainly not a set and forget process if you guys have learned in this class, and it takes some real, concentrated time and energy to bring it all together. So with that in mind, the main takeaway here is that you want to be sure that you're picking products that you can actually focus on, that you can optimize, and that you have enough bandwidth to actually manage appropriately and optimize for performance. So I think by advertising too many products at once, you end up kind of like spreading this like peanut butter approach across your campaigns where everything is treated equal and you have money on everything and nothing is really doing exceptionally well and nothing is going to be pushing through the pack, especially on a platform as competitive as Amazon. So going back to the basics of optimization 101, the first step is to make sure you've chosen the right products, right? So it's not going to be about the data that you pull as much as the foundation that you build. Like early on during our search term mining report, I was super clear that the search term reports are built. They don't happen organically. It's not as if you just run ad campaigns and have a magnificent search term report to get tons of good keyword data out of. Search term reports are created by good campaign structure and bidding on the right keywords to the start. Same thing happens here with advertising and products. Not all products are going to perform. It's a very competitive marketplace. So it's important that you choose the products that have the best chance coming out the gate to build strong sales history, to go ahead and convert for you at an affordable price to break even. So when I look through these products, there was a few different things that I filter. The first thing I do is I pull a lifetime business report, right? I want to look at the sales across all these products across the lifetime of the campaigns, right? And or of the lifetime sales of the product page. And this allows me to see 3 key metrics that I end up analyzing. The first thing that I look at, of course, is going to be the total sales velocity on its own, because that means a high amount of sales volume just means that the product has somewhat of a following. People are purchasing it. Of the entire products in the catalog, these are the ones that sell the best on their own without any push from advertising. These are the products that are moving. The next metric that I analyze is going to be my unit session percentage. And there's one kind of default thing to say on the unit session percentage. If poorly targeted advertising has been run to the products, you will have a lower session percentage because the keywords are not as they should be. So a lot of the time, unit session percentage isn't going to be the ideal metric if you've been running ad campaigns with poorly targeted keywords, because of course you're bringing in these keywords that are very broad and then you have no conversions. The other thing is very important to think about is, and look at here in the metrics, is the overall session percentage, because this will sort of show you in the catalog which of these products Amazon already prefers, right? So we can see the serums end up getting about 30% of total traffic. We can see that we can kind of move down this list and we can see that the skin lightening cream gets about 27% of traffic. So I think a lot of people make the common mistake of looking at this report and wanting to use advertising to fix the things that aren't doing exceptionally well. So things that aren't getting any traffic, things that aren't converting, things that aren't driving sales, and then they want to go invest their ad dollars in those products. which is absolutely like reverse thinking of what will actually be successful. At the end of the day, things that aren't selling, things that aren't getting sessions, things that aren't getting conversions are going to struggle with your advertising campaigns. They're going to struggle worse. So the main thing is to be looking at a few key metrics and some filters that I use to pick the product. So face serum seems to be a category with incredible demand. And there's good sales history here on that product lifetime, right? And then from here as well, the eye cream has a really nice, I'll show you product pages in a minute. The eye cream has a really strong product page in terms of its sales funnel, is very feature and benefit driven, which I think is going to work to convert traffic. And then the skin lightening cream is also converting some traffic and has some good sales history. So with those three products, that's where I'm going to focus. And the reason I'm going to focus also is because even though this hasn't had tons of traffic, like I am implying, the product page is well designed here on this eye cream. So it's got a 9% unit session. So it has some promise there. So then I go ahead and double check my metrics across my 90-day business report. I go ahead and I look at that 90-day business report and I say, okay, how does it look over the last 90 days? Because you can go lifetime, but I'm going back to 2016 on my lifetime. I need the kind of consolidated data of lifetime to show me what is happening historically with these products. But I need a 90-day report to show me what's happening real time. I need to have a really good understanding of what's happening in the last 90-day window when markets shift and prices shift and, popularity shifts and product lifestyles. I need, life cycles. I really need to see what's happening within the 90-day window as well. And the majority of these have stayed pretty steady within the 90-day window. And there was a few of them that were looking really interesting in the 90-day window. And one of them was going to be a facial sunscreen. But here is my thinking on this, and I think this is really important to bring up. As you're bringing up the paid ads, one thing you want to be thinking of is, okay, these are very common products like a scrub and a mask and a cleanser and a toner. So I'm going to take you over to the product pages so that you can get an idea of the sales cycle on these. So essentially, this product is $135, right? He also has a C serum that's very selling very well, as you saw from the Business Center. He also has a C serum that's selling well. These are proprietary products that he's developed, and he's a doctor. But the C serum, if you go on Amazon, the average price of these serums is really going to be in the $19 range, right? So we're really running anywhere from he's over here with a different product, a sponsored product related on this C serum. But you can see his products are $115, $135, and the average price for a C serum on this site is just going to be right around $20. If you come down here to the True Skin, which is one of the best sellers. So he's definitely got a very different price point than the average products on Amazon. So when you come through this product page, the main thing that we're going to notice here is it's really going to be, it's going to be more of an anti-wrinkle, anti-aging. And another thing that's very important to notice here is it's more of a medical grade product, which means it's going to be appealing to people that are used to getting cosmetic services done. And when I ran the keyword research, which I'll share in a minute, you can really see there's a lot of searches for Botox and other cosmetic surgery procedures in the broader market. So you really find that the women looking for this are looking for a medical grade kind of cosmetic solution. And of course, Dr. Calais is a board certified, medicine physician, right? So some tips on this optimization funnel with this $135 price point. I think with some of the ingredients, we'll still be able to convert traffic. But my biggest takeaway on this particular product is that you would want to have some real life testimonials on this page. For a $135 price point, when you're competing with a $20, $30 market, I think in this particular place, because the consumer has to be so hyper confident that this is going to work for them to invest, what would that be, 5 or 6 times the average price, they'll do it. If they can actually get the results and get those wrinkles gone and get some of these benefits that they're seeking, they'll do it. Especially when you're, appealing to things like beauty and vanity. But for them to do it, they're going to have to be super, super convinced that this is something that's going to work for them. So I think it's okay to have good images like these before and afters. But I think moving through it, I think the more real life testimonial type brand content this page could have, the better it would be. And I think also introducing Dr. Calais himself would be very important to this page because it's a medical grade solution with his name on it. So I think you would want to have a better understanding of who Dr. Calais was and why this is such an important product when it comes to selling at that $135 price point. So the first things I would think about from a product page standpoint is there's some optimization to do here in terms of brand enhanced brand content. I think that definitely getting some real life testimonials, maybe in video, getting some real life kind of down to earth content, even about the doctor himself, and maybe doing more in the text regarding the real difference between the medical grade ingredients versus these standard ingredients that they're getting up here. So the first thing that I decided to do is I thought, okay, so which of these products would I pick if I were to really tackle the market and invest? Like, this is beauty and skincare. This is a very expensive market to advertise in. So again, like, I think coming across, if you're trying to have a business report, like coming across all these products in one shot would be, if they were done well, if all these campaigns were done well, it would be incredibly expensive. It would be just $1 million campaign. So it's like, I think realistically, budget wise and focus wise, I would stay clear of all like the generics, since this is more of it, like I just covered, this is more of a pharmaceutical grade, medical grade, serum grade product. And this would be for anybody doing stuff on Amazon. I would stay really clear of these really generic type searches. They're going to be very hard to convert traffic. So coming in on like scrubs and masks and cleansers and toners, it seems like this is a real like anti-aging cosmetic surgery market. So I don't think they're going to be really, the average Amazon shopper there's a lot of millennials on Amazon, and there's a lot of like, kind of middle age, affluent Americans on Amazon, but it's more of a Sephora and it's more of a digital type audience on Amazon. So your average female shopper on Amazon is not in this kind of hardcore anti-aging category yet, where she may be looking for the products that are medical grade. I think that you need to hit the keywords that are very focused on anti-aging, in the sense that, anti-aging and wrinkle, to hit that older demographic. I don't think you'll catch the older demographic just surfing Amazon for toners and cleansers and scrubs and masks. And I think you're going to get a really young demographic on acne, because it tends to be kind of a teenage thing, as we all know. At least that's like the big bulk of that market. It's not the only market, as you know, as a doctor, you would think that a lot of people come in with acne, but if you're in a search engine and you're a search person like myself and you just understand keywords, a lot of the people searching for these keywords would be a bit of a different angle there, right? So with that, the thing that we really want to be looking at is going to be, sorry about that, I was looking. So what we really want to do is go in, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the search term report, right? So I went ahead with my STR manual report. So I ran a search term report to kind of see what keywords had been performing historically in this account, like I would suggest you guys do, to try to pull your existing data. And like I've said on other calls, there's not enough data here to make good decisions. You can see some of these products have had one sale, and this is a recent report, 2 sales, 1 sale, 0 sales. That's really not enough data for me to understand anything about how the product is searched. There either is not enough spend yet, or we're not getting enough conversion data at this point to really make sense of everything. So the next place that I go is I go ahead to the Sponsored Products Campaign Manager, and this is all done here because, of course, I'm not going to change his actual campaigns, because that would not be polite. So instead, I'm just going to show you my suggestions here in class. So the main thing I would say is, okay, and this is, I think a lot of people fall into this category. It's a really simple pull to do. Go to your Sponsored Products dashboard, go ahead and hit download, and download all your campaigns as an export. It's a one-click deal at this point. You can hit the date range to lifetime. You can download all campaigns in one click and then import them into a sheet like I've done here. Now, if I'm looking at these, to me, everything in red can be deleted. Everything in red, not deleted, but paused. There's no reason to be running all of these campaigns in red. Everything in red is above target ACOS and is not converting at a rate that's worth hanging on to. So looking at that, everything in red would be paused. If I were optimizing this account, I would pause everything in red. I wouldn't have any of this going anymore. I'd have all of the high ACOS stuff. It's bleeding my budget. I really need to focus on a few good products and put all my money there. There's no reason to have anything running at 100% plus ACOS. It just shows 2 things. It shows either the keywords aren't well matched, or the product is not matched to those keywords, or I'm having a conversion issue. on those keywords. So to me, all those high ACOS campaigns would just be paused. And now going back historically, if you're in a different position where your high ACOS campaigns have significant sales, then you would do the next step that I'm going to outline. But based on this sales data, I've only got like 4 sales, 1 sale, 2 sales, 3 sales, 7 sales. They're not well done campaigns because they've had a lot of high ACOS. They're not converting. They're not working. I don't need to hang on to that dead weight. So I would be pausing everything that is in red. Those would be the things, and some of these are already paused because he's been doing his own optimization, but I would pause all the red. The next thing I'm looking at is everything that's in orange. And another problem with this campaign is all the shop specific keywords have been rotated against all products, like most of you guys have. That's not a complicated solution, but it's important to know that you don't really have good sales data if you've been rotating a bunch of products with different keywords. So with this one, there was a lot of that going on. But if I'm looking at the stuff in orange, what I'm basically saying there is, okay, these campaigns don't have enough sales data to really matter. You know what I mean? I've got 4 sales, 3 sales, 2 sales, 1 sale. The biggest I've got is 13 sales. It's not a lot of sales. So when I look at those, I don't need those either. Like, I really don't need to hang on to a campaign that has, only produced 1 or 2 orders. And instead, if I were doing a rebuild on this from scratch, I would come into the ones that have good sales history, right? Not just spend, but both, but sales and spend. And I would be looking at renaming those to kind of match these 3 products that I'm going to target. So from here, another thing you would do, though, if you have better sales history, but still these kind of terrible ACOSs, you would pick the campaigns you're going to rebuild in, which are these in blue. But then more importantly, you would go over and you would get into the campaigns that are valuable, like these ones that produce 40 orders, 39, 31 orders, 28 orders. And you would just pull a keywords lifetime report within those campaigns so that you can salvage any keywords worth salvaging, right? And that's going to be something you get out of the campaign manager. In sponsored products, super easy, and you don't need to do it again. That's why I want to point out everything in red and orange, I don't need to pull any data on. There's not enough sales data. There's no good ACOS or conversion history. There's nothing we're salvaging right here in red and orange. The only thing we're salvaging is the stuff in blue. So with that in mind, I go ahead and pull keywords from those ones that are in blue that could have some good keywords that I need to kind of reconsolidate and reorganize into a better structure. So from here, because these campaigns were rotated across a bunch of different products, and again, this was something that was done by a manager, not the product owner, right? So this was somebody else managing these campaigns, and they did some kind of funny targeting. So what they've done is they've kind of rotated all these different products with different benefits across all these different keywords. So, looking at it, we can kind of look at the keywords that have converted, but then we can see there's a lot of high ACOS in here. And that's because they weren't really targeted super well. So you're able to kind of maybe pull a few keywords out of here, but the main thing you're getting out of this, if you really go down, is historically the keywords have not been targeted well for sales history, right? So you have serums and creams and face and sunscreen and acne and toner. Those are such broad keywords. Like, there's no sales history. It's highly unlikely, unless you're the best seller, that you're going to win on serums. If you are the best seller, if you are the number one in the top 3 best sellers in the serum category, you can possibly win on serum. It's one of those bestseller badge plays that I've talked about so extensively, right? So with that in mind, you can win on those really good broad keywords, but you need to be in the top 3 in the category to do it, right? So like I've always spoke about, you really need to win on the midtail, and you need to win on good modified benefit-driven search before any of these keywords are going to work for you. So looking at these keywords where the historic kind of conversions have been, they've been a lot of brand keywords. There's a few good ones up here for skin lightening, but the majority of these are just really broad keywords that are a bit too broad to be tackling on a first-time campaign build. So with that, the thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is into a new campaign outline, because I couldn't really find in the search term report or the historic data, like any thread of really good data. I had to go back to the drawing board and do new keyword research, right? So this is the keyword research sheet. And there's a lot of really good keywords that are here. And my sheets were really glitchy before class, so I'm not going to try to do too much with that. I went ahead and passed on the vitamin C serum because even though it's a very popular product, that there's some really lean, really fierce competition at the $20 price point. And I think it would be challenging from a unique selling position to do that serum. Instead, I think you could do better doing a collagen serum with that, the main ingredient of that hyaluronic acid, and going after this kind of anti-aging, fine lines and wrinkles category, especially for the price point. So I think with this one, the C serum to me is less of somebody looking for a medical solution, at least on Amazon, because of this $20 price range that is all the best sellers. And I think you're going to find more in terms of the youth collagen serum if you were to really push that with the right keywords. So with those keywords in mind, I went back and I pulled a reverse ASIN on each of the products. So I went through Cerebro and I said, okay, so on this particular product, what is like the general ballpark of this keyword? That's going to be the best that I can do for this product. Although normally, I would do like I've taught you guys, and I would do a 10 competitor swipe to get them all across WordTree. But you can also just do a Cerebro kind of reverse ASIN to get a general idea of what keywords are coming off of that product listing. So I went ahead and did that for the serum, and then I did it again for the lightener, and then I did it again for the eye cream. So with that, I was able to kind of get an idea of where I was headed. And the reason I chose the eye cream is because on this eye cream, the thing that's so good about it is it's like it really targets what the keyword searches are demanding. So the dark circles and the fine lines and wrinkles and the puffiness are the three key things that people search for in their research around eye cream. So I feel like because this is so well postured to kind of feature benefit pitch the product against the feature benefits in the product itself, I think that this is a good one to advertise. So I went ahead and kind of went through and did this Cerebro tool in Helium 10 to kind of see what would be my keywords overall. And then once I got a good lead, these ones in yellow that I thought were interesting, I went ahead and pulled full keyword downloads on these. Now, because I'm going after the collagen product, one thing to be really specific about here is that there are a lot of negatives that still need to be pulled here to create a complete list, because there's a collagen powder trend right now, right? With the peptides and the powders and, the bone broths and, Vital Proteins is a big brand. And because protein powder is so popular, and it's not a protein powder, but a collagen specific powder, I would really make sure to get all of these negatives in my collagen campaign, for the simple fact that it's not going to be this product. And if people are searching on, broader terms like collagen, as I start to kind of scale, I don't want them showing up. I don't want to be showing up on these other collagen searches. So that would be the only place there's a heavy, need for negatives at this point, is within the collagen space. Then I went ahead and pulled some keywords on serum. And with this, I went ahead and just kind of focused on the main ingredients in the product, and of course the main benefits, right? Which are going to be the things that are going to be, anti-aging, the things that are an acid serum. It's a face serum, which is going to be my brows funnel. The main ingredient up here on line 8. So I just kind of go through and I segment out, okay, so where would I be going with these keywords? And then from serum, I see this main ingredient. It's very popular, 160,000 searches. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and look for that particular product, and it's in that particular ingredient. And it's interesting because the second product that we're doing is a lightener. And on the lightener, which has been his second kind of best-selling product lifetime, right? Not second, I mean, outside of serums category-wise, these are doing really well that are not like a non-general product. So the skin lightening is really interesting, and you can see a good overlap here in the keyword research. People looking at these kind of dark spot correctors and things that would be, about lightening. So it's definitely an aging product, and it's definitely an aging market. So you got the dark spot remover, the dark spot corrector. I would be staying clear of like bleaching and words like that, because I think this is really a product for aging. And I think complementary wise, you're going to build more core customers and shoppers and buyers, convert more shoppers to buyers if you're focused on this anti-aging piece and kind of, bringing these two products together. So I'd be focused on the dark spot corrector for the lightener product, and I would be focused a lot on the this particular serum for wrinkles. So you go ahead and you pull here a wrinkle serum. So there's a lot of good keywords. And then from here, I did the same thing. I just pulled keywords across all of the 3 products that we'd be advertising. And then I move over to a campaign outline. Now, based on his existing campaigns, I'm literally just I think I'm just focused 100% on shop and browse. Like, there's not enough keyword data to do singles. With single keyword data, you need significant sales history. You don't want to be guessing. You really want to be sure that you have quite a few sales. Like, you saw some of the data that I shared with you guys. As I start to segment out singles, you saw last week, we did a really good one on Thursday about segmenting. Really good product there that we did a lot of good singles. She had enough keyword data to really pull those singles out and get them done. Single keyword ad groups are so powerful, but they're terribly not powerful until you know conclusively that broad kind of search term will bring in a lot of good search terms and a lot of good data that converts. Until you have a lot of history, multiples, like, lots of orders on those keywords, the single is not really you're not in the market for single keyword ad groups yet. And the other thing you're not in the market for here is scale. So even though some people may think they're ready for a scale ad group, these keywords these are lifetime and they're so broad. These are not scale keywords. Like, you would not scale a keyword like serums or creams. I mean, regardless of orders, they're really broad, general, kind of generic keywords with pretty high ACoS in some of them. So these wouldn't go into scale as well. Up here, again, they've been like kind of listed against multiple products, so you don't have conclusive data how they're going to work. And if I'm looking at the STR currently, again, I don't have enough data in terms of orders or clicks to indicate that I should be heading into any single keyword situation. So I'm really going to focus on browse and shop. I'm going to rename these existing campaigns to the new campaigns, the collagen serum, the skin lightening. And this is actually, you would do it this way. I think that got a little copy over from the eye cream. So you would have your skin lightening, your collagen serum, and then you would have your eye cream, right? And I would just be kind of going in and segmenting these keywords. So on this one, I'm just going to go through the collagen serum to keep it really simple, because that's the one we've been analyzing. You really have just 2 key categories. And then another interesting thing about this particular build is that he has an existing Gloxinia Life brand campaign that's doing exceptionally well. I would add additional brand keywords to that group, but I necessarily wouldn't put a separate brand ad group in each of these groups, only because the way his products are segmented, like he's talked about in some of our Q&A sessions, it's more of a broad kind of store, like, anti-aging solution, right? So I think with that in mind, his existing brand his brand campaign that's rotating the products is doing really well. So I wouldn't necessarily re-segment out his brand keywords, because it doesn't look like there's a lot of brand specific product searches as much as just broad brand searching, right? People come looking for his brand. Skincare is a little different. They're just going to add a lot of different products for their skin to their cart from this, from this particular brand. And that's another thing to think about with the ad campaigns. Just because you're not advertising every product, sure, you don't get sales history, but you couldn't build it anyway on those general keywords, because the general consumer on Amazon isn't in the market. So you're not going to get a ton of win out of general keywords on Amazon anyway. But the cool thing about this is, if you can nail these 3 products, if you can get your lightening right, and you can get your eye cream right, and you can get the collagen serum right, and bring in those new customers, they're going to organically buy the rest of the line, right? They're going to automatically start adding to their cart. They're not going to just use one of your products. They might, but if they really love the product, and the reviews for this product are great, they're fantastic, right? So if someone really gets the results and they're in your market and they've got good keywords coming in, like wrinkles and collagen and anti-aging and those types of keywords, there's a really good chance that after they get the results with the first product, they're going to re-query the brand. And without question, they're going to add additional products to their cart, like the cleanser and the toner, without you paying the extra money to advertise those on those broad keywords. Again, it's like advertising is much more of like a financial decision. In the sense, it's about what is the cost in the market, what is the demand in the market. Like, you can already see here that eye cream pushes the CPC up to 462. And these are just the bid ranges, right? Where we get a much better bid range on the serums and the lighteners. They're not nearly as saturated because with advertising, it's about available inventory, right? So how much inventory is available? How much does Amazon have to sell you? What are the current bids in the market? It's very financially driven. So is, one of those situations that you want to be picking the right products that have, kind of the right pricing as well and the right inventory availability so they can actually be profitable for you. So one of the things is going after those broader kind of, crazy markets like toner and cleanser and so forth. Those are going to just be massively saturated, very little inventory, kind of like the eye cream situation. And you're going to be paying so much more on the CPC to acquire that customer, where you have these tremendous margins on the serum and this skin lightener, and they're unique products that have unique, ingredients. I was looking for that in the products themselves, in the titles, in the bullets. Where are their unique ingredients? Where are their unique things? I mean, again, everything I've taught up to this point is, where is the shop funnel? Where are these modified keywords that feature these features, have features and benefits in them? You really want to be looking and digging deep for those keywords. So kind of coming through that, I went ahead with the keywords that either define the main ingredient or they define the problem solution space, which is, it's collagen solution, it's hyaluronic, acid solution, it's a wrinkle and anti-aging serum, it's an acid serum. Like, there's a lot of good stuff in here. And then in my brows, I've gone after like the facial serum for face, just the basic kind of broad keywords, because it is a face serum and face serums are super popular on Amazon. The only obstacle will simply be the price point. So I think if you come after the anti-aging market, I think you're going to find the shopper is more likely to pay for those anti-aging benefits. I think the general Amazon shopper, you'll have to test in your browse funnel around facial and face serums. But, the younger shopper is not going to see the huge benefit from the, obviously they're younger, you know what I mean? They don't really have these, they're not as deep in the problem solution space as somebody who's got an aging factor. I think the medical grade is going to appeal more to people that are already searching for things that are more in the problem solution space. So went ahead and we kind of broke those up. Again, with the keywords, we just focused on broad and exact match to test them, which one's going to work. And then I went ahead and put some phrase in here on single. Like, I know people are going to put words in front of and behind collagen serum. I definitely have a collagen serum. It is in my title. I know people are going to put other words around wrinkle serum. I definitely have good images and good kind of before and afters around the wrinkle kind of phase of, what we're pitching here. So I put those as phrase match because I think we can get a little more traction. I'll have to go ahead and get a little more data if I can from the word facial serum. So from here, that would be how I would break this out. And then I would be focused on these three products that go together. I would be focused on 1, the collagen serum, and 2, the lightener, but I would not be focused on skin bleaching and whitening. I think that's a different thing. I'd be focused a lot more on brown spots, right? A lot more on lightening brown spots, because that goes with the anti-aging benefits. And I think you're looking for a consumer that wants the benefit of all three products. And then the other one is going to be coming into this eye cream, because it's just so well postured here with the benefits matching the keywords exactly. So that's going to be how I would outline these. I would rename existing campaigns, just like I'd mentioned here. I would pause all ad groups in that campaign because I don't need the keywords. I mean, that's the main thing that you can take away here is when we go ahead and look at the search term report, we pull the lifetime keywords. There's no keyword data that we're trying to save here. We're really not deep enough in the funnel. There's a few keywords that I have incorporated in the outline that I'll share with him in terms of this like dark spot and this, these other kind of things going on down here. But overall, when it comes to the products like the serum, especially, just these broad keywords are not, anything that you need to salvage. So when you ask what to do with these old campaigns, they just need to be paused. They need to be rebuilt with better keywords. And if you have a campaign that has more sales history than these, right? I'm looking at all these different orders. If you have a campaign with more sales history, hundreds of orders, right? At that point, you do need to get those lifetime keywords out of the campaign manager, unless you've saved your reports over the lifetime of the campaign. You do need to get the lifetime history on those main keywords so that you can start to kind of re-segment those back into the new campaign. So any keywords in this list that were relevant to the serum specifically went back into the new campaign, right? Into the new structured campaign that I put together here, right? So that's going to be, just the basics of how you break it all down. And I think the main thing also is to make sure you're doing a good business report analysis and really understanding which of your product categories are really going to be the best to hop into the features and benefits in the problem solution space, and then which of your products historically have either driven sales, sessions, or conversions at a good rate. And then you'll end up kind of narrowing it down to a few products that you could focus on. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to shut down everything old that has either not produced sales at all because you don't need it, or has driven them at a very high A cost. Those are not worth salvaging. You're better to go in and do the right keyword research, because again, as you can see from the search term report, until the right keywords, the ones that we've outlined here, until the right keywords are in this campaign, the search term reports aren't going to give us any golden data. If we're targeting the wrong keywords, the search term reports are just, they're not going to bring anything back for us, right? To get the search term reports to bring stuff back, we really need to be targeting words that are specific to these products, like collagen, I don't know how to say that, hyaluronic acid, wrinkles and anti-aging and serums for face. Like those just really need to be targeted to get a good search term report and get the kind of data that you want to be pulling out of it to actually mine good new search term variations. Because think of it this way, the new search term variations will now be built off of collagen and the main ingredient and wrinkle and anti-aging. It's either going to be keywords from the problem solution space. They have wrinkles, they need an anti-aging solution, or it's going to be ingredient specific keywords, long tail of collagen and the acid search, right? So until you get these keywords actually ranking and scaling in the shop group, you're not going to have a fantastic search term report to pull the kind of data that will work its magic. So I would absolutely just remove all this dead weight out of the campaign manager, pause it all, focus on these main groups and get those optimized. And then you can start rolling additional products in. But getting those optimized, again, I'm completely convinced that women who buy these premium high price products with these good solutions, with the reviews I've read, are going to continue to buy the very generic products that may not be conducive to advertising, because it's Amazon.com and there's so many toners and cleansers and stuff like that on the market. I think it would be very tricky to get those broader kind of products to kind of scale for a profitable kind of return. Okay.